Hi everyone, Lindsay Ford here, and today we're going to talk about the value of logging and journaling your food. This is a little bit different than I'd say necessarily than always thinking about it in a way of tracking numbers and tracking certain things that may actually cause a little bit of an obsession, a little bit of a hyper awareness. The idea of logging and tracking is more of a big picture, what's happening day to day, what's happening week to week. Those that log and track their food typically see a 50% increase or probability of reaching their goals compared to those that do not log and track. So there is some value to this from a statistical perspective. I think there's a lot of value in logging and tracking, more so from a becoming more aware of what you need to do and how you need to make changes moving forward. So it's really doing your research for yourself on how am I going to make changes, how am I going to make wise changes. So often I'll hear, oh my gosh, I need to try this, or I need to try this diet, or I need to cut out this and remove this. And it's like, well, did you actually track and log first to figure out what worked and what didn't? So when we think about logging, one, you do want to have some sort of system or thing that you're tracking with. So whether it's a journal where you're writing stuff down, or an online just resource where you can kind of type things in, even an app could be very, very helpful. There's so many out there, everything from MyFitnessPal to literally getting a dollar notebook and just using that as really that tool. There's no one perfect tool out there. It's what you're going to do consistently and daily that's going to actually motivate you to do it. So whatever it is for you that works, use that. I know for those that tend to be in the younger side of things may feel that more comfortable with technology. For those that, I'm going to use my mom as an example, if I tried to encourage her to use an app, she would look at me and just stare at me with a dead face. So for her, it would be more of writing something down. So for whatever that you want to use, it's all about the consistency that really matters. Things to log and track. So one, what you're eating with portions, and also thinking about what time. So as much detail as possible as you can get. So an example of this would be 8 a.m., breakfast. I had 1 cup of oatmeal cooked with cinnamon and blueberries and 1/4 cup of nuts, and really just diving into the specifics on that. Now after that is really key, because then you can journal how it made you feel. Were you hungry before? Are you really full afterwards? Was it too much? Was it just enough? Or was it inadequate? Did you feel slightly underfed after consuming that meal? This is all stuff to consider writing down into that journal, or finding a database where you can actually put that into an app. Other things to consider to add to this log would be your mood. Your stress levels. Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling full of joy? Are you sad? Are you lonely? Are you bored? And then even going into the stress state of things. Are you feeling stressed? Or are you pretty calm and at peace? So those are all things to, outside of just what you're eating, to actually put in there. I'd say the other thing to think about is how you feel. For anyone that, let's say, has GI issues, or they're trying to figure out what foods are really problematic for them because they just haven't felt 100% in a while. Something's shifted. Well, logging and tracking your food will help you get one step closer to figuring out what things aren't really sitting well with you. Now, once you do this meal after meal, day after day, you will start to see patterns. So you will start to see, oh my gosh, this is what's happening when I skip lunch. I'm overeating at dinner, and it's no wonder why, because lunch isn't there. Maybe you'll start to notice the difference between what's happening Monday through Friday and what's happening on the weekends. Or, man, when I'm skipping breakfast, I really notice that I have these really strong cravings for sugar. All of those things will really matter. Things to not, I know it's kind of hard and challenging, but things to put down: alcohol, desserts, baked goods, beverages. Still write that stuff down. Water intake can be another thing to write down. I'd say once you get this pattern down, and once you actually start writing and logging, you can start tapping into what are you doing movement-wise? What are you doing stress reduction-wise? And to have all this stuff right in front of you, you will become more aware and in tune with yourself.